We'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast was produced, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. We pay our respects to elders past and present.
Today's story starts 120 metres beneath the Atlantic Ocean. That's well over a soccer pitch deep. There's still some light, but there's not a whole lot to see at this depth. An occasional pod of dolphins, sharks, and even once a submarine. But we're not down here to spot wildlife. We're down here with a man named Arnaud Jerald. He's got no oxygen, apart from what's left in his lungs. No goggles, the pressure is too much. And the only thing helping him get back to the surface is a pair of fins and the rope he followed down here. It took him over a minute and a half to get down here. By the time he makes his way back to the surface, he would have been submerged for over 3.5 minutes, breaking the deepest dive world record with bifins. It's the 7th time he's done it in his career, and I've no doubt it won't be the last. I'm Matt Middleton, and this is Head Game. Today, what it takes to make most people's worst fear your biggest thrill. Monsieur Arnaud Jerald, thank you ever so much for coming on my podcast, Head Game.
Thank you so much, Ian, for the invitation. Really appreciate.
De rien, mon ami, c'est avec plaisir. You are a freediver, but it takes a certain mindset and training to get to the depth that you've got to. When did you first start getting into freediving, and how? How did you get into it?
Yeah, it's so not natural to enjoy not breathing.
I can imagine. Yeah. I know, actually.
I started really early with my dad in Calanque of Marseille at 7 years old. He was doing some spearfishing on the weekend just for fun. And after, with all the fish, with my family, we were cooking the bouillabaisse. It's like a typical soup in Marseille. Soup of fish and poor people in the past. And I was a bit scared because I was seeing him going far on sea back with the fish, and I was wondering what happened, the water, what is new world. And one day I was talking with him when he was getting back to the water, and I say, I want to try really to go with you, but with this little fear about the unknown this place. And he say, okay, put on your wetsuit and go with me. I was so excited.
Oh, wow.
So excited. I put my fin, the wetsuit, this kind of wetsuit in 2 parts. And when you try to put the top, you feel you're going to be dead.
It's so tight.
So tight.
You're like, it's not going to work.
And I jump on the water with my mask, and I just opened my eyes on this new world. It was really amazing. New colors, new horizon. It was really blue around me with some fish, with rock. Was really like with some character down there. And I was following him swimming on the surface, and I was so afraid about the shark behind me or the monster behind me. I was always looking behind me, but of course nothing was there. It was just little fish. And every weekend with my dad we were jumping in the water, and I transformed this fear into kind of freedom down there. I was feeling like the little prince discovering different planets, or Peter Pan flying down there, because in the water you don't have no gravity. At 16 years old, my dad saw me diving around 20-25 meters, and he said, okay, now I'm gonna put you in the club and trying to have more safety around you. I say, yeah, why not? We jump in the water at 16. It was in February, really cold in Marseille. We have this kind of crazy wind sometimes, and it was one of these days. And I jumped on a boat with all professional freediver with my dad. I was so exciting. To me, it was like the Big Blue movie, it was my turn to dive, and they put me a nose clip, because in freediving sometimes when you start to go really deep, you can't use a mask because after certain depths the mask can implode. And I say, okay, I want to try the nose clip. I put on the nose clip, and I just realized that this time I'm gonna see nothing in the water because I don't have any mask. And I start to dive at 10, 20, and I reached 30 meters.
Wow, what, when you were 16?
16.
When you were 16, you reached, wow.
Immediately, just on the first dive.
That's amazing. So you, from the age of 7, you jump in the water with your dad just to go spearfishing, to experience it. You find this new world, and you said you found a new reason. And then at 16, you dive down and you hit 30 meters.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't really know about this for the moment. I was just focused on the dive and enjoy this moment. But down there, I was feeling so comfortable. And I just, looking around me, it was full of blue. I was surprised to not see the boat on the surface. And it was not like a fear, but some really peace moment, because at this age I was a bit like not comfortable at school. I was dyslexic. I was at this age you don't know what you want to do in the future. You want to do something huge and special, but what is a dream about my life, where I should go? And the teacher of the day go to see me down there because I was staying too long. And he gave me the sign to come up really fast. And me at this moment, I say, okay, I think I stayed too much down there. I never have the time to reach the surface. I was a bit scared. And I start to swim fast. And when more you swim fast, more you're going to use oxygen and burn your fuel. He say, slow down. With just the sign. And me, I slow down and I try to copy his style. And he started to smile, like a proper smile with the teeth, like a really happy smile. And it was like a bit like a stupid situation, because we were in February in the winter, 16 degrees water at 30 meters. And I say, okay, we start to smile. We look like a happy guy. And I just discovered this sport at this moment, because I say to myself, not breathing is not just like to be close to be deaf, and it's just you can really enjoy the present moment and just live your life at this little second or minute down there.
So at the age of 16, did the training start after, or did you have some training going into that dive, or did they just say, go as deep as you can go?
Yeah, it was natural to go at these depths at this age. But I never have any technique about breathing in the past, nothing. And it doesn't start after, because when I crash the surface after this dive, I say to myself, now you find your dream. Now you find the reason why you want to wake up all the morning. And when you have a dream like that, it's like a little secret in the beginning, but you want to share it with the people really close to you. And it was my parents. On the night, I arrive at home and I just sit on the table on the dinner, and I say, okay, now I want to stop study and I want to become professional freediver. And as you know, it's really difficult to hear it when you are a parent. If your kids want to be professional freediver, because they were so surprised and they say, no, impossible for you. And we never want you to be professional freediver, because first is not proper work, and second is really dangerous. We saw deaf people in the past, like on the Big Blue or something like that. And we spent with my parents, I think, 1 year without talking about freediving.
Oh, really? So they were like, no, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Go and get a proper career, stay in education. And then when do you actually, have that conversation with your parents and say, no, listen, this is what I need to do. This is who I am. This is what I want to do.
I spent 1 year to think about my project, to build my own vision, to know how we can live about this sport, what competition I can do, what is my level at this age. And after this year, I sit again in the same table with my parents and I say, okay, I'm here again talking about freediving. Now I want to become professional freediving again, but I know how to do it. And I say, okay, I want to do this first competition. After this first competition, if I do a good result, I can do some TV in French to be trying to be famous, or people gonna know me. And after I can have my first partners, and probably one day I can do speech in companies about how I dive, how the safety around me. And they just think like 2 or 3 seconds, but me was looking like an hour. And they say, okay, you finished study and after we will see. But me was like, yes. It was yes. After study, you can do everything you want. And start like that.
And so what was your first competition, or what was your first sort of competitive dive that you done, and where was it, and how did it go?
It was the French Championship in Villefranche-sur-Mer, close to Monaco and Nice. It's a bay, really quite water. And I arrived, and this time I didn't know about the French national record, and I was close. I don't remember exactly, it was 70 meters. And me, I come on table with all the judges before the competition, and I just told to them, I was the youngest, what is the French national record in biking? And they just look at me like, who you are, man, to talk about this like that on the first competition. But me was not like a pretentious question, but now when I think about this question, I say, man, you're crazy. And they say, it's 70. I say, okay, I'm gonna do 73. Incredible. And the day after, I just reached my first national French record. I become French champion. And after I jump on other competition, on the World Championship.
So the first competition, what did you get down to?
73 meters.
You broke the record on the first dive when people were laughing at you. And you asked, and you're like, right, I'm going to go if it's 70. Wow, that is some achievement. How did that change your life?
Mentally, it changed my life to say, okay, now I think I can do something huge in this sport. It was a proof to me, a proof to every people around me too. But it was just a French record. It wasn't a world record. And I started competing again, trying to reach 100 meters, because in our sport, 100 meters is a huge number. And I became the youngest to reach 100 meters at 20 years old. And was like a new game changing.
So who was training you, Arnaud? What was your training routine? How would you go and train? Or was it just off of instinct and off of what you picked up along the way?
After school, I was planning to do this competition, and I was doing mountain bike in the night with some light in my head, and I was training on the night, and on the morning when I was wake up, I was so destroyed, but I just needed to go at school, and I tried to train like that for a few years. And after I was training in a club, in different club in the south of France, Marseille, and in Nice. But I never have a coach. It was always like an instinct for my body to react at these depths. And like, for example, for equalization, you have some technique after 50 meters, after 100 meters, but I never learned about it. It was really natural, and I never understand why, because I wasn't the every freediver discover the sea really early. But for me, it was like just a normal way to equalize and to dive at these depths.
Wow. So there must have been a sort of disconnect in order to connect, just to do it. There must have been something that wasn't, was there a disconnect with, your survival instincts? Was there a disconnect with something in order to be so connected to do that at such a young age and with no training, let's be honest?
Yeah, with no training. I was doing some mountain bike for fun, but was nothing compared to today or like a few years ago. And I don't know why I start like that, but even today, people told me you don't have mental coach or someone who help you to control your emotion before diving on the dive. And I say, no, it's like, to me, it was like this kind of dream. You don't have choice to live your life with another way. And when you wake up on the morning and you don't have any other choice to you to live this life like that, the pressure is really huge, but it's a good pressure. And this is why I think I never think to say, okay, should I have a coach or should I train differently in the beginning? It was like that, but more like a young freediver, a young athlete. Like I go in the first competition trying to beat the French record. But after I gained some experience and I reached different goals.
You mentioned something there. You mentioned the good pressure and, the good stresses of life. I call them the positive stresses and the positive pressures of life. So once you realise that you smashed the French record, do you think, right, I'm going to start taking this really seriously now. I'm going to start going for the big one?
I start really thinking about this moment just the day after the French championship. And but I was looking for some money to finance, to invest in the next competition, because I never wanted help from my parents on this part. I was a bit proud at this age too, and I just start to to do some speech about freediving, how I can connect. But now when I think to this, I was with nothing in my hand, no experience, just one French championship, talking with 45 years old engineer I do Coca-Cola industry with 500 people, and me, I was 21 years old and talking with them. And I financed my first competition, my first world record like that. And the year after, I spent 2 months in Egypt. Was a new place to me, alone. And I just discovered also this kind of vision of my sport. I think freediving is the surf vision, the same vision of the surf 20 years ago. We are a really young sport. And about safety, when I arrive in Egypt on this club, I say, okay, to attempt a world record, it's going to be really bad like that in this situation. And I talk with the boss and I say, we need oxygen tank, we need safeties, we need counterballast. In case something happened down there, I can join the surface with a lanyard. And I built my own safety to try to attempt this world record. The goal was 108 in Beattie. And I spent 1 week without sleeping in a night because of the pressure.
Wow.
Yeah.
You spent 1 whole week without sleeping.
I was sleeping on a day, just after.
Day, but not on the night.
Not on the night. Because I spent 2 months to do really good training and I was really close to do the world record. And on the night, I was overthinking, okay, I'm really close. You're gonna be my first world record, and what happened next? What happened when I gonna reach this world record? Should it be my work after that? Should I have more partners? And I just spent this week without sleeping on the night because too much exciting. But I was a bit afraid about this. I wasn't scared because my training was going well. And on this day, I reached the world record. And after that, everything changed really fastly.
So you go off by yourself again to Egypt. You train by yourself. You do all the safety. You're basically coaching yourself at this point for this world record. And when you say bifins, what is a bifin?
Bifin is just one fin at each foot. It's just the legs. When your legs are burned and over training, you can't swim and you can stay down there. You need to adjust really your power when you try to reach the surface.
And when you come back, so you come back from Egypt, where is the world record held?
It was 107, and about a Russian concurrent. It was like 10 years older than me. And at this moment, it was like the Usain Bolt of freediving, or the Michael Phelps of freediving. No one was thinking it was possible to beat him for the next few years, because he was doing all the world record of all the discipline, like bifin, monofin, free immersion. And me, I just go like that at 22 years old, trying to beat him, but without expectation, but with good motivation. But also he was on the Russian championship in Egypt, in Sharm el-Sheikh, on his competition.
Along comes Arnaud and he's like, listen, I'm taking that from you. Thank you very much.
On the morning was really hard because all the Russian freediver was looking at me. I was the only outside freediver to go on, to dive on this competition. And everyone was looking at me, you're not gonna do it, you're not gonna do it. And me, I was starting to be stressed. And when I see Alexei, the Russian concurrent, he told me, it's gonna be good for you, it's gonna be a good dive. And to me, it was really like, wow, we are on the same boat, we are on the same situation, this fear, this moment. And I really appreciate these 2 words he told me to just enjoy the dive, because the world record is just here to beat a world record. It's not going to stay like for 100 years. And with this motivation, I just go ahead and trying to enjoy this dive too.
So Arnaud, talk me through that day. So before you go in the water, what mental preparation do you do, if any? Because it sounds like that you're just quite a super confident, natural sort of freak of nature when it comes to free diving. But what headspace do you have to get there? What breathing techniques? Take me through just 10 minutes before you're going to enter that water. What are you doing? What is going through your head? Are you meditating? What's happening to you?
At this moment, I was really... I hear a lot of music before my dive because I saw when I reached 95 meters before 100, like on the way down on the free fall. When I arrive with around 95 meters, I have this question on my mind. Why you are doing this? But this question at this depth is so difficult to reply it to yourself. And with the music, he helped me to just reconnect on the music and to just have this song on my mind. But I need to hear the same music like 10 times. And 10 minutes before my dive, I have this music on my mind. Sometimes it's Daft Punk, sometimes it's Radiohead. It's not like AC/DC, but one day, why not? And I remember 10 minutes before my dive, I was like comfortable, but I have this little fear about where I gonna dive, because when you dive at the place of nobody dived before, it's like really you don't know how your body can react, and how you can crash the surface after this time spent in the water at these depths. But I was really focused, I think. But on this discipline, you really need to control your emotion and try to not overreact, overthinking, and when you are in this kind of situation, you create a movie around you. And if I do that at this depth, I'm gonna have this problem or have this.
Your mind starts to play tricks on you.
Exactly.
You've got to really, really control your headspace and control your emotions. And is there a ritual that you do? Obviously, you listen to the music that helps you. That's probably a form of meditation for you. Do you swallow in? You see divers and they swallow air. Do you go through any of that? How does that work?
I try to have my heartbeat really low, and but when I jump in the water, I clip my lanyard to the line, and I try to close my eyes, because all the team is on me, looking at me. And if I just look around me like that, I'm not a football player. When everybody is looking at you, when you not use this situation, you can have a lot of stress. And just close my eyes, trying to prepare myself, just breathing low. I exhale really slowly, and I inhale normally, like just long breathing, and it helped me to just calm down. And I use this exercise in every situation in my life. When I'm too stressful, you inhale really slowly and you exhale really slowly too. It's nothing.
Why does that help so much? Because it really does help in any situation. Everyone always says breathe it through. 2 seconds in, 4 seconds out, whatever it may be. Those deep breaths, getting that oxygen circulating. Why is it so good for the body?
I think you reconnect to something really natural. You think to breathing, and you need to just think about breathing. And when you just think about one thing, you not think about the other thing. And also, of course, it's a vital way to weigh. It's like if you not breathe well, when you're in stressful situation, you start to hold your breath. And more you hold your breath, less you have oxygen, less you are conscious. And I think it's gonna help on this way, just to be connected on the present moment, on something vital, and also to just have more awake thing with oxygen.
Yeah, you said there you have to be present. I suppose here more than ever you have to be super present in the moment. And when you think about breathing, it's really interesting you say that, because we take breathing for granted, don't we? We just breathe. We don't even think about it. It just happens. But when you think actually about taking in that oxygen and filling your lungs, it's supernatural, right? It's a great way to calm yourself down, and it's a great way to meditate as well. So you're going through this in the water just before you go down, and then that last breath that you take, do you fully fill your lungs before you go down? How does it work?
Yeah, I try to take all the hair I can. First, I exhale all my hair, and more you exhale, more you can gain hair just after on the breathing.
Got you. More you can inhale.
I exhale maximum. I start to breathe, to inhale with my belly, and second with my thoracic cage, and after I'm ready to go. But I have another technique when I really need to go deep. It's same. I exhale all I can. First inhale with the belly, second with the thoracic cage, and after I have this technique called lung packing. It's like that.
Got you. So you're swallowing.
Yeah, it's like a pump, because you're exactly just like that, but I'm not recommend to people don't really practice freediving, because you put more air on your lungs, they can accept, and you need to be really flexible on this part. And this air helped me to reach this kind of depths when I really needed this little particle of oxygen.
So you're completely filling your lungs, obviously trained under experience that you've done, but you're getting every single bit of oxygen that you can in order to go as deep as you can.
Yeah, and also about the lungs, when I go down there, they compress a lot, like that on the surface. I have 7 liters, but every people have, I think, 4 or 6 liters. And when I go there, the pressure is so huge. I have my lungs, the size of my lungs is look like a lemon.
Wow. At what a depth? At 100 meters?
Start to 90 meters, and after compress a lot.
Size of a lemon.
Size of a lemon. And yeah, but I'm happy to not feel it, to not have pain at this depth about this, but to not implode, for the body to not implode at these depths. The blood after come on the lung, and because of every fluid are not compressible, we can dive deeper and deeper. But it's called blood shift, and every dolphin and whales have the same mechanism.
So you take these last breaths and you go down to take this world record. What are you thinking about? Do you enjoy the peace? Do you enjoy the isolation? Do you enjoy being lonely? What are you thinking about when you go down there?
Yeah, it's a bit special feeling. You feel lonely and alone when you wake up on the morning. You can have all your team around you, but you feel alone because no one really can know what you're gonna live at this moment. To you, it's like you have to build your mind on the way it's gonna be your last dive of your life, and it's really not a happiness feeling. But if you're not gonna push this your mind on this way, you're not gonna be focused. And I build my mind to do this on the morning, but not to overreact, to overthinking about that. It's a good stress. If you are not stressed before this kind of dive, it's gonna be dangerous. And when I jump on the water, I just feel comfortable. Now I feel comfortable. In the past was more difficult. I was on my bubble. It was impossible to me to smile with people around me, to look at them on the eyes, to check them, because I was too stressful. And I didn't realize in the past, the team can help you to have the smile before the dive and to not be too serious, too focused. And after some dive and some world record, I just learned about about the team. And now when I wake up in the morning, of course I'm focused and I am on this kind of think, okay, it's gonna be really difficult dive. We will see. And also I'm connected to my team. Sometimes I hug them before, we smile, we joke, and I just have the smile before this kind of depth help me really to just say, okay, it's huge dive, but it's not like going to the space or somewhere you can probably never go back.
What are you feeling when you come back up? What's the feeling that you get now that you're the world record holder?
The feeling was really not as I was expected. To me, the first world record was like everybody gonna know me. I have more sponsors. And was going really slowly. And I just realized we are a young sport. We are just free divers. Of course, we do something unique, but we are not on the TV every morning, or we are not every year on the news. And I just learned about now I need to be my proper boss, my own manager about mediatization, to have my press manager on me. And I start to build my team to just have a communication. Because if I don't have this team, no one knows if I dive at 300 meters, for example, And I start thinking about this. And of course, I did some big TV in French, and it grows something about my professional career. And I start to have my first partners. And I was really surprised about my first interview, because to me, dive at this depth was normal. Like it was just like a breakfast in the morning, but no with pretension, without pretension.
No, yeah, you're not being cocky. You're just saying to you that it was natural. It was, you almost not found it easy, but that was, you were in your comfort zone there, right?
Yeah, it was my reason to wake up in the morning was like, okay, I don't have any choice to do this way. And when I was talking with journalists, they say, okay, 108 meters in this discipline is really deep, huh? And I was saying, yeah, I think, yeah. But I didn't realize how deep was it. And more I talk with my friend, with my parents, and with all my team around, more I just realized, okay, yes, it's deep. And in the past, I didn't realize nothing. It was look like I didn't have any reference about these depths, and it was
almost naive to it because you were so good at it. It was just a natural thing. You didn't have no reference, and it was just like, yeah, I've got the world record. It's 108 meters, but I can do a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it saved me too, because when you are too focused on a number, this number can be a limit. Can limitate yourself, and I never really liked the connection with the numbers. I was preferring looking at the sensation, how I can control myself on this kind of situation, how I can manage my team around to be motivated with them, and to keep the passion. And the number was just like for the paper, nothing more. And luckily, yeah.
But also the sponsorships came on, the teams came on, people started, like you said, the sport was young, but people were now taking you very, very seriously. After that, once you got your team on board, what did you think? What was your next goal? What did you think? Right, I've got the world record now. But what did you do after?
Just after, I just say, okay, now I need to do another one, because at this age, people think is huge, but they probably think too it's just a lucky chance, it was not like I wanted to have stabilization on my result, and to prove
be consistent.
Be consistent, exactly. I just planned next year to do another one deeper, because I don't remember exactly the
because you can, Arnold.
Yeah.
Just deeper because I can.
yeah, but I knew it was more harder, and I start to train also in the gym, to have a physio, to have a professional.
So what's your training regime look like? So you know now things are serious. You're going to depths that things go terribly wrong down there. You're going to stay down there. You're not taking another breath, if that makes sense. So how did your training switch up, and when did you start really going right? I've got to really now. If I want to go deeper than this, I've got to really take this on board.
I just start to go in the gym, because I was doing some mountain bike, but it was nothing compared to preparation on the gym. And I was training with Olympic swimmer around me, but in Marseille. But they were at the same age to me, but they born on the gym. These swimmers are so impressive. But me, I was like that, trying to do some squat to learn how to have the good movement. And And it was really huge motivation to train with them because their level was so high and me, I was so a beginner on this kind of discipline. And they helped me to reach this new step.
Wow. So you hit the gym, and in 2022, you just go and smash everything to pieces. You know, you said about 116 there, but you got to a depth, is it 120 meters?
Yeah, it was a really huge year because I started the year with 117 meters. First world record, another world record on the season. After I continue with 190 meters, a second world record on the season, and after the 2 days after, I try to say, okay, I'm gonna reach 120 meters, and to me was a bit confused because these last 5 years with my team, we reached 8 world record, but it was more like 1 year, 1 world record, 1 season, 1 world record, but this season, about the 120 meters, I reached 3 world records in a few months. But me was like, okay, it's not normal. What happened? Should I continue? Should I keep calm and continue to wait for the next season? And on this season, I just realized the number of world records is not important to me. If I have the power to go down, if I have the ability to focus enough to go down, I'm gonna go because it's my reason, it's my life, and I just try to go at 120 meters, but in the past it's like 400 feet, I don't remember, and I go down. And I have this kind of narcosis because down there you can go on other way because all the hair you have on your lung, when it compresses, you can look like junk, or when you try drugs. I never tried, but I have some friends that told me about the feeling, but you completely disconnect to the reality.
Wow. Does it feel like you're spaced out? Does it feel like, is it like a drug? Is it
it's too much. It's like a magic mushroom, something like that, apparently.
Wow. And, like a hallucinogenics. It's sort of like a out-of-body experience.
Out of your body. And first is comfortable because you feel something like a liquid on your mind. And after you feel happy, really happy. And second, you feel completely disconnected. You see some image in front of your mind. You see some colors, and your body just swim and is on autopilot.
And you're hallucinating. You're in this narcosis sort of situation alone.
And more you try to control it, more you reach another step of this kind of hallucination. You just need to let go of this moment and to say, okay, it's gonna be okay. We hope it's gonna be okay. And it was really it's down there feeling. And after when I tried to come up, it was a really long way because when you are down there, if you don't swim, you can fall down because all your hair of your lungs don't float you because it's compressed. You're not float enough to join the surface. You need to swim so fast, but you don't gain a lot of speed because you can free fall down there if you don't swim. And when I reached 30 meters, at this depth, you have the freediver join you. It's some freediver join your eyes to see if everything is okay. And at this depth, because down there, the risk is huge, but you just did one way. But when you join the surface at the end, you did two way, like 100 on the 120 on the way down, 120 on the way up. And I was feeling okay. I reach the surface. I remove my nose clip. I do the sign and I say, I am okay. It's a protocol. And the judge was looking at me and they say, you reached the world record at 120, man. And I say, wow, it was so huge. Everything was mind blowing. And because in our sport, we were all thinking it's gonna be impossible. Like it looked like going to the moon in a past for human people. They were looking at this, they were dreaming about this, but they say, okay, it's gonna be impossible. But one nation did it.
Mate. And listen, before we wrap up, because this has been phenomenal, what is your superpower? For you to free dive with such ease and natural ability and such, such flow, what do you think your superpower is?
I think it's about the feeling and the conscientious about my limit on the present moment, on what I can do before the dive, on the dive, and to not hear too much my ego, and to just follow my own limit. And also to say no at the right moment. And it happened to me. Some days I go and jump on the boat, and some safety wasn't here. It was not enough to do a beautiful dive with a proper safety. And I say no. And some no, I say to the past, save my life, because I remember this dive, I was going down and I was feeling really sick on the night, and it was really over 100 dive trying to train. And at 60 meters, I say, okay, if you go down, you can have a really huge problem. And I just say, okay, it's not for today. And also, I have this kind of young power to say, I have time. The peak of our sport is 35, 40 years old, and I'm 28. I always be the baby of the sport, the kids. They told me the French kids. And, when I reached this kind of depth, all the community pushed me to go deeper, because for them it was impossible to dive at this depth at my age. And they say, oh, it's huge what you're doing, go deeper, because when you crash the surface you have the smile, and we know you can go deeper easily. And I keep myself behind this, because I say, okay, they push me on this way, but me, if I go on this way, I'm gonna just compete 2 years and I go after break my mind. And I try to put a distance with my limit, and trying to reach every year with more and more experience, but never reaching my limit. For a freediver, reach a limit is just to do a blackout. And it's really hard way to learn freediving. And
you've never blacked out?
I never black out. I hope I'm going to stay on this way.
Well, listen, let's hope that the French baby freediver never blacks out. But listen, keep pushing, Arnaud. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Honestly, inspiration for the future generation, just to know that, get out there, put your mind to it, relax. Positive stresses, positive pressure, take it on board and use it to your advantage. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining me on Head Game. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of our incredible stories, and leave me a review wherever you're listening. I'm at Middleton. Catch you again next time.